And you're out here dragging these things around in the dirt. I'm in the desert. It's remarkable the difference of 3 panels as opposed to 4. If I were going to buy another one, this is definitely the one I'd buy. Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Well, today we're going to do a review of this solar panel. It's a VCU Tech. It's 200 watts, it's folding, and I really like the 200 watt folding panels because their size remains good. This is still, not much bigger than another 120 watt panel, but it's 200 watts, so you get a lot more wattage. I think you get the most wattage uh, per size. So when you pack this thing away into your rig, a car, van, RV, it takes up a whole lot less space. It's lighter, much, much lighter than any hard frame would be. They don't last as long. You got to understand that this is not going to be as durable as a hard frame solar panel. But if you're going to lay them out on the ground, which a lot of you are, again, you're better off mounting it on the roof and buying a complete system. But I know a lot of you, that's just not an option. So if you're going to lay them out on the ground, I do recommend the 200 watts. Another real good advantage to 200 watts is a lot of today's newer power stations will take 200 watts of charging, and a lot of them won't go anymore. That's really a common thing. So all you need is one panel to charge into your power station. If your power station will take more, then you can buy 2 of these, wire them in series or in parallel, and then run that one cable into your power station. So two of these being 400, 400 is a lot of power, and most of us will be satisfied with 400 watts. Most of us will be satisfied with 200 watts, one of these. So it's the convenience factor, really more than anything else, that makes me really like the 200 watt panel size, because these are reasonably small, reasonably low weight, put out a good amount of power. Carrying them in and out isn't an ordeal or a drudgery. That's a little bit unusual to have just 3 panels. That means they're 66 watts. It's kind of an odd number. But I like the panel so far from what I've seen of it. Let's look at what it will do for connections. Connections are really, really important. So the big thing is that it's MC4. It's just standard MC4 connectors, and then it goes off to an XT60. XT60 is becoming very, very common. And it's a pretty long cable. That's also very good. But because it's just a standard MC4, oh, I didn't even snap them together, so you get it off easily. But this is just a cable. And you can buy cables like this with MC4s on one end that will match up. Most of your power stations will come with a cable that will match up to an MC4. But if it doesn't, you can just go buy a cable that will match up to a lot of things. Let me show you an example of that. So I bought this on Amazon. It was $15. It has the MC4s, so it will plug right in to this solar panel. Sometimes they come with this, and I think that's better because they give you a $15 part for free. But this has an XT, an 8mm, an Anderson, and 3 of the most common smaller plug-ins. So this is a very good thing to have around with $15. You can, with this on hand and MC4 connectors, you can plug this thing into virtually everything that comes along. There'll be a link down below. I would always have one of these on hand. If I lose a cable gets damaged, I can connect almost anything with this. So I really like that. It just looks like a solar panel. This has the XT60, which is becoming common, but there are more without XT60s than have them. So that's a knock on this thing. It should have more connectors than just an XT60. That's a mistake. But again, $15 and you can fix the mistake. So this panel is $250, which is more than I want to pay. I want to pay $1 a watt. And the bigger panels seem to usually, the bigger the panel, the better the deal, the cheaper. But doesn't seem to be true with these folding ones. $250 is not a bad price, and I got a $30 off coupon, so I paid $220. But it looked good to me. I thought it looked better than most, so I'm going to give it a shot and test it. And with all of these things, just keep your eye out on them, put them in your cart, and get notifications of when the price changes. And they'll drop a coupon on it all the time. The coupon will be gone maybe, but then it'll be back, and coupon will be bigger and smaller. And I just picked something up that was a really good price, and it had 40% off coupon. So it turned out to be super cheap. That's the thing with Amazon. You got to watch them and get the good prices. Okay, so I'll jump in now and set this thing out and see how it does. So this is the VCU Tech solar panel that I've been playing with. It's 200 watts, it's folding and the fabric. And I have had 4 of them total that I've been using and testing. So I've tested them all for power, and they all put out exactly the same amount of power. So that's not really a factor in making your decision about which one to buy. The other one that I have out here is the Rofi. And it's got a standard 1, 2, 3, 4 50-watt panels. That's pretty much the norm. And this one is 3. 1, 2, 3. So these are about 66 watts, something like that, putting out a total of 200. So it makes a huge difference. I didn't think it would matter. In fact, I thought maybe it would be it'd be worse. But it is so much easier to handle because you know what you're doing out here? You're out here moving them with the sun all day. So right now the sun's just setting over there, and this is in the spot to get the best possible sun here late in the day. So you're out here moving them. In the morning you want to face east, in the evening you want to face west, and through the midday you want to track. Well, I don't do all that, but I do like to turn it. So ideally 3 times a day. You set it up in the morning, the afternoon, and then the evening. And you're out here dragging these things around in the dirt. I'm in the desert, and it's dirt and rocks, and it's remarkable the difference of 3 panels as opposed to 4. At any given moment, I will reach for this one because this is so much easier to handle. Now the quality, this is the Rofi, and this has the best quality materials of any of them that I've seen. So it's really good that way. And the quality of this is just average. It's not good, particularly good. It's not bad. It's just really average what most of them are going to be. But it is so much easier to get up and move around with that I'm really, really tempted to say this is what you need to buy. If I were going to buy another one, this is definitely the one I'd buy just because it's so much easier to handle 3. So now let me show you, demonstrate, so that you'll get a better idea. So here it's just 2, that's it. And I'm done. So as you can see, I can handle all 3 panels. I can pick it up, I can tilt it, I can drop it, I can just reach down and grab these 2 legs and fold them out, and I'll fold this one out, and I'm done. If I want to move it around again, I'll do this reversed. So there you see, I just set it down and it wants to stay there. And I pull out the legs, and that is so much easier. It's remarkably easier that I would buy this thing just for that. I don't know if it will last as long. You just don't know. I think it's because you're out here dragging them around in the dirt. And this is so much easier to move around in the dirt and the rocks that I think that might contribute to its longer life more than the quality of the materials. They're okay. I'm not saying anything bad about them. The other one is an all powers, and I'm saying this is still better than the all powers. But now let me show you what it takes to move this thing around. Because it has 4 panels, I can't really very practically reach them all. When I set it down, I got to reach over here and get these 2 legs, and then that side falls down every time. So now I got to come over here and pick it up and put these legs out. And a lot of time, these legs will fall down. And I have literally played this seesaw game, and it gets very tedious and tiresome. Not only that, but it has developed a flaw here, and I don't know what that is. I'll have to see if that makes any difference in the power. At any rate, the size and configuration, so these are 4 50-watt panels, and you end up with a total of 200 watts. I just like that so much more. So these 4 50-watt panels, which is what they all have, except for this one, is just so much more inconvenient. And I think the handling difficulties is what reduces their life as much as anything else. And this is so much easier to handle. Going to be my choice. Whenever I'm going to just set out one panels, and I have a lot of the power stations that only take 200 watts, this is all I can plug in. This will be it. This VCU Tech will be the one because of how much easier it is to handle. And there are no disadvantages as far as I can see to the 3 instead of the 4. It's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit taller, and each panel is just very slightly wider. So when you pack it away in your rig, what you're packing away is a little bigger, a couple inches on each dimension. But to me, that's just no loss at all compared to the ease of using this. So my bottom line is it works just as well as any other 200 watt panel. It's so much easier to handle. The quality of the materials is good. This is what I'm buying. If I need another 200 watt panel, this is the one I'm going to buy. Longevity on all these things is a little bit suspect. I mean, they're just fabric, as opposed to a real panel, a panel you mount, which is a really good glass and really good aluminum frame, and they're just going to last you forever. They aren't just going to fail on you, and these things can, because they're the way you're handling them and folding them and dragging them in the dirt. That's just not ideal at all. Okay, so I hope this was helpful to you, that you got some ideas of things you can buy. And I love this setup, having a 200 watt panel and your power station inside. And I really like that setup. I have my panels on the roof, and so it's not something I use a lot of, but for a lot of you, you're not going to mount them on the roof for whatever reason. And so these foldable, movable panels are really, really a good choice for you, and a power station of your choice. Okay, I hope you got something out of this. If you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up, hit that thing, beat the crap out of it. Why don't you? And we'll talk to you later.